Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and Metcalf Trucking and Trailer Repair. Today we sit down with Harrison Golden Goblin head coach Chris Keylon. This Pigskin Preview is sponsored by First Community Bank.
Welcome back into the Hometown Sports Football Preview, and I have got another coach on board with me here this time. We've got Harrison coach Chris Keylon here as we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the Harrison Goblins. But before we get to that, I think probably wouldn't be good of me if I didn't mention that his son, now one of a legendary, even possibly player in the state, as he was the quarterback for the Harding Bisons as they went on and won the national championship this year. Coach, I know that as many wins as you've had throughout your career, they were thrilling, but I don't know if that one, anything would be as thrilling as watching your son quarterback a national championship team.
Oh, the most unbelievable experience of my lifetime, really. I mean, you couldn't even imagine it. I mean, what made it really cool was when Cole was recruited, they said that, they needed a guy that could come in and win them a national championship or be part of that. And Coach Simmons, when we took Cole to camp, Coach Simmons said, within 4 years, we'll win the national championship. And last year was the fourth year, and Cole was lucky enough to be the quarterback. He had a lot of great teammates with him there, and it was a great experience for him. I tell you what, leading up to the national championship was equally as exciting when they beat Grand Valley 7-6.
Yeah.
The week before, they blocked an extra point to secure a 1-point victory, and it was just a wonderful experience. Yeah, unbelievable. I think they'll be able to do it again too.
Now, does he still have eligibility there?
Oh yeah, he was a sophomore last year, so he still has 2 more years.
All right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Coach. Well, let's talk about your Goblins. Goblins finished 6-5 last year.
7-4.
7-4. Well, yeah. They got to 6-5 on Scorebook Live for whatever reason. Finished up with a 59-42 loss at Hot Springs Lakeside. Tell us a little bit about your team from last season.
Yeah, well, we had a really good group of guys that worked really hard. I was very proud of their approach to the game of football in terms of practice, work ethic, those type of things. We were 7-4, but I was really disappointed, to be quite honest with you, because I thought that at minimum we should have been 9-1 going into the Lakeside game. We lost to Mountain Home for the first time in a long, long time, and got down 17-0 in that game and came back with a chance to win at the end, but didn't get it done. Farmington, we should have won the football game, had a lot of penalties, threw a pick at the end that gave them the ball back. And I mean, it's just, one thing led to another. Shiloh had us, and they played us really well. And thought we had a good chance coming out of halftime against them, but, we stalled. And then going into the Lakeside game, I think we put up over 600 yards offense that night and lose the ball game. So that was disappointing, but lost a lot of good players from last year. Our running back, Braden Long, rushed for 2,300 yards. He's going to Arkansas Tech to play. He was a great kid, great player. We lost a quarterback who's been starter for 2 years, Mason Ketterman. That's going to be tough to replace. But I was really proud of our guys, just kind of disappointed in the 7-4. But I was equally happy and proud of what they accomplished other than that.
So got losses, like as you touched on, Farmington 43-40. That was right there. Alma 21-10. played Shiloh tough, 28-7. They ended up in the state championship game, and then you've got that Lakeside loss that you mentioned there. Let's talk a little bit. I like to do this with every interview. Just talk a little bit about your assistant coaches. A lot of guys that don't get a lot of run here. Tell us a little bit about your staff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because I'm really proud of our guys, and I think we have a really good staff. Our defense coordinator, Kyle Wood, came from Missouri. He was on some staffs in Missouri, and he won 2 or 3 state championships up there. Was a head coach in Missouri before he came down to us to be the defense coordinator. Really smart guy, hard worker, very organized. He does a great job. We've got, I'm going to talk about, we've got a lot of Goblins that have come back and either been here for a while, former Goblin players. Doug Cross, who's our special teams coordinator and defensive line coach, he's been here for a long time, played here. His brother, Greg Cross, coaches our offensive line. Same thing, played here, played for Coach Tice, both of those guys. Both of them do a fabulous job for us, and we're really glad that they're here and have been here with us for a long time, because consistency in staff is a really positive, and I think most people would say that. So we're fortunate in that respect. I've had the opportunity since I've been the head coach to hire some more Goblins that have played here. Cameron Jones is going to coach our secondary. Very smart, young coach. Went off and played college football for 4 years and gained a lot of knowledge. He's going to do some great things for us. Matt Rodden, who's our head baseball coach, he's coaching our linebackers. That's a state championship winning coach in baseball. So really excited about Coach Rodden coming up. We've got 2 other guys that help us on the high school. Coach Ewing, Jerry Ewing. He coaches our receivers, and he's a pass game coordinator on offense. And he's got a lot of experience. He's coached at Wynn, Gosnell on both sides of the ball. He brings a lot of experience. Has done a really good job with our pass game and really our offense in general. And then Bruce Humphreys, who's another former head coach from Missouri, retired in Missouri, came down, has been with us for 4 years. This will be his 5th year. Played quarterback in college, coaches our quarterbacks. So does a great job with our quarterbacks. And we're going to need that this year too, him to do a great job with that. So we're fortunate here to have a good mixture of veteran coaches, young coaches, Goblin players or Goblin coaches that have played here. So it's really good situation.
Coach, you list a spread as your offense. Of course, there's a lot of people that run the spread. Talk to us a little bit about the offense that you guys run.
Yeah, so we're a spread run team basically, and we do get under center in some I formation from time to time, but 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. We base out of quite a bit. A lot of times we'll spread out too with 1 back in the backfield, and basically we're a power read, counter read team. We try to build our offense around the run game. Love to play tight ends in our offense, especially the ones that we have. They have some versatility that gives us some advantages. So we're excited about our scheme.
And you list a 3-4 as your defense. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we've been running that for a while now. I was the defense coordinator prior to being the head coach. And we started out years ago in a 4-2-5. We transitioned to a 3-4, and we've tried to make that defense really simple for our kids. We blitz. We bring somebody every play. It's either going to be an inside or an outside backer, sometimes both, every single play. So we feel like what we have on defense schematically gives us some advantages. And probably the biggest advantage, it's simple for our kids and allows them to play hard and fast without a lot of thinking. So we like that.
Talk about returning starters. What do the Goblins have coming back from last year?
Okay, so on offense, our center, Ben Estes, is coming back. He does a really, really good job. Tate Robertson on the offensive line, he was a starter last year as a sophomore. He's coming back. Leighton Alls started last year. He'll be a senior on the offensive line. T. Deacons, our tight end, started last year as a sophomore. He'll be back. Lucas Brumley at receiver. John Bartlett at receiver, both starters last year. Eli McNutt and Owen Strode or Kadem Long, and we have a lot of backs that we'll play a bunch of guys, okay, and in the backfield. But the guy probably is going to be our go-to guy, I would imagine, is a kid named Eli McNutt. Phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete, 6'3", 220. Already got 3 D1 offers. And a lot of people showing interest. So we're excited about him. Defensively, we return Kadem Long at inside backer. That's Braden Long's brother, the one that's going to Arkansas Tech. Eli McNutt's going to be back at outside backer. The thing about Eli, he never played defense. So he was a sophomore last year. Eli never really played defense until last year. And boy, what a surprise he was. We didn't know if he could play it or not, to be honest with you. And oh my gosh, what a wonderful year he had. And as I mentioned, as a result, he's already picked up some offers to play in college. Lucas Brumley started for us on defense from time to time. He'll be there. Jackson Kreiner will be a 3-year starter at corner. Lee Catt will be a 2-year starter at corner. And then we've got to fill in. We got Trey Turner started at defensive end, and Ben Estes, our center, actually started at defensive end. Those guys return. But we feel like we have a lot of guys on the defensive line that can play. And our plan today is we would like at least 9 guys to play on the defensive line so we can have really good rotation, stay fresh. And so we're excited about getting more people involved.
You list Eli McNutt, Ben Estes, and Kane Long as all-conference returners, and you don't have any all-state returners. I expect that you'll see some of those guys step up. Tell us anybody that might be a surprise right now that people aren't talking about that might be a little under the radar for you guys.
Yeah, I think there's a guy, player for us named Brody Weeks, 6'2", 6'3", 280, probably 275, 280, extremely athletic, offense and defensive lineman. Put it to you this way, and I don't know if Cole would want me to say this, but I'm going to say it. He was out at spring ball the other day watching us, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, Brody Weeks there is as good as a lot of our offensive linemen right now we have at Harding University." He said, and he's a sophomore. So he's special now. I mean, he's really going to be something. So I think he's a below the radar guy for sure.
Always good to have a guy coming up that people don't quite know about. That's always good to know that you guys have that type of guy. Harrison's got a lot of tradition, Coach. A lot of success. You mentioned Tommy Tice before. Tommy is the 3rd winningest coach in the state of Arkansas. Got a lot of those wins there at Harrison. Tell us a little bit about that tradition that Harrison has. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a great tradition, and it's the prototypical small town football town. The community rallies around really all of our sports. Baseball, basketball, softball, everything. And we have great community support for all of our athletic programs. But obviously they support football really well. Coach Tice was here for 29 years and won a state championship in 99. He's the only guy that's won one here. He's still a part of our program. He has access to anything he wants as long as I'm here. Guys spent that much time here and done what he's done for this community and this football program. I honor him every day, to be honest with you. I'm glad he's around. Then, we had Chad Harbison that came in after Tommy, spent 4 years. I got an opportunity, and thankfully, an opportunity to work with Chad his last year here. He hired me, and he did a really good job, especially that last year. We went to the playoffs, and then Coach Wells, Joel Wells, came in, and I was the DC for him. And man, what a wonderful coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach from Missouri. He continued the tradition that we have. Really, what Coach Wells did is kind of got Harrison back on the map a little bit. We'd been down for a few years, and Coach Wells got us back on the map. I mean, when he was our coach, our head coach, and I was the defense coordinator working for him, which was outstanding. We went 4 straight years, didn't lose a conference game. Played in the semifinals twice under Coach Wells, and really in 2000, what would it have been, 19 or 20? The best team probably we've had in the history of Harrison, other than the 99 championship team. We had a knockdown drag out with PA. Lost 28-21 at our place in the quarterfinals. And I mean, we were so close, and boy, it still hurts a lot of us, but still it speaks to the tradition. And we're trying to take it back, keep it going in that same direction that Coach Tice had it for so many years. And Coach Wells, got us back on the map too.
Tell us a little bit about the 5A West. Who do you think is going to be pretty good this year? And just if you got some players that you think, man, these kids are hard to match up with on Friday nights.
Well, our conference changed this cycle back to what it was when I was the defense coordinator. So we gained Morrilton back, Greenbrier back. So we're excited about that, really. Valonia's back with us in our conference, and man, I'm telling you, when that's a competitive conference now. I mean, really good coaches. Valonia's got a new coach, and we're excited to see what he's going to do and be able to prepare for that. Coach McNabb at Morrilton has done a fabulous job for years. State championship winning coach. Always has a great program, great guy. His kids always play hard. They're going to be a challenge. Coach Tribble at Greenbrier has done a fabulous job, always does a fabulous job. Very hard to stop what he does offensively. And then we've got the people that we've had in, Farmington. Farmington now is, I don't know what's happening at Farmington. Coach Eldridge, who I was fortunate enough to get to know a little bit, have a lot of respect for him. Hate it that he left, to be honest with you. I hate it that he left because he's a great ball coach, and I always want to compete against those guys, but I don't know who they're going to hire there. They have some really talented coordinators there at Farmington. So if one of those guys get the job, Farmington's going to be tough. And you've got P Ridge. I mean, they're always, in the fight. They're going to fight you. I mean, it's a tough conference, and it's going to be exciting for us. As far as players, Morrilton, I heard, was on the upswing. I don't know a lot about them, to be quite honest, because they haven't been in our conference for 2 years. Same with Valonia, same with Greenbrier. So I don't know a lot player wise. I know Farmington, they have a sophomore quarterback they played last year. Due to some injuries that they had, he came in and did a great job. So he's back. I know he's going to, cause problems for a lot of people. The other guys, we're just going to have to wait and see. And I think they're probably kind of like us, lose some people. and going to see who's going to step up.
As always, right? I mean, that's what high school football is all about. It's about the next man up, whether that be in the season or when you guys have to replace guys. And you've been under where you've had to replace your own son at quarterback, and that obviously proved to be a big shoes to fill there at Harrison. Tell us a little bit about your schedule and your non-conference.
Yeah, so we open up. This is pretty cool deal what we've got in our opening game. It's kind of worked out, but we're opening up with Branson up in Missouri, and that's 30 minutes away from us, so it'll be good for both communities. We're excited about playing Branson. Ironically, they run the flex bone, what Harding does, and they spend a lot of time at Harding. Learning and trying to get, ideas on how to better that. But the coach there does a really good job. And matter of fact, I was watching film on them this morning. They've got me a little bit concerned. They're, especially having to stop the flex bone. But open up Branson, then we play Mountain Home. Mountain Home, Coach Airy has really done a fine job there, and he's really turned Mountain Home around. Like I said, they beat us last year. I mean, they were a really good football team. And, I just expect them to be a really good football team this year. They just won the state track championships. They've got some dudes, I think 6 guys on their football team is on the track team. So they're going to have a lot of speed. That's going to be a tough game. They play at our place this year. And then we go to Searcy, and we play Searcy, and that's going to be tough. Especially I spent 1 year at Riverview as a head coach, so I'm familiar a little bit with Searcy. Zach does a great job there, and just 3 tough ones, which will be good for our guys, preparing for conference.
Yeah, and you guys will be prepared. Of course, we know Harrison is going to be competitive. You guys, like you said, I've actually been witness to that with Harrison and how Harrison really takes pride in their sports and their town. And you guys have that community support. I know that Harrison is a hard place to play, whether that be in football, basketball, baseball, or otherwise.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that, because, you never know, when you're in the middle of it. I'm glad people think that. I tell you, the thing that we try to do, with the type of kids that we have within this community, we've got to be tough, and we got to be real physical. That's the way we have a chance to win ball games. We don't have a lot of 4'2", 40 guys and all that stuff. We've got to be tough and more tough and more physical than our opponents, and we preach that all the time. We have a really good weight program. Coach Wood, our DC, he runs our weight program, and we've had great gains there. And that's just kind of what we do here, and it kind of identifies with the culture we have in Harrison. We're tough, physical, just get after you type people. And so it's a great place to be in terms of that respect.
Well, that's really good. Let me end this with one thing. It will be a successful season at Harrison if.
Wow. Well, first thing you think, you go win all of them. That'd be a successful season. But I don't want to say that, and then we lose a couple, and then we don't think it's successful. No, here's the deal. If it'll be a successful season for us, if our kids every Friday night give every ounce of effort that they can possibly give and never quit, regardless of the score or the outcome. If our kids do that every Friday, that's going to be a successful season for me and for us, because I believe strongly in our kids, and their work ethic is off the chart. And if they do that, we're going to have a chance.
There you go. I think that's a great answer. It's a great one to end on, and we want to remind each and every one of you that are watching that you can catch even more content here on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure that you're checking out all of the updates that we will have for the Hometown Sports Arkansas football preview. And we want to say thank you to Coach Keylon for being a part of us. And Coach, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Harrison Goblins this year.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. And we want to get it kicked off. Go Gobs.
All right. That's Coach Chris Keylon, and we'll be back with more. You are watching the Arkansas High School football preview presented by the Arkansas Sports Network. It's Hometown Sports.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.